Hello and good evening, morning, or night, everyone. This is Chickzama with 956, and we also have a special guest. We're here with the Dust Loop guy. That I've been definitely pronouncing his name wrong for like 10 years, but don't worry about it.
No, not wrong. Just alternative. You
Alternative,
know how
okay.
yes, this alternative spelling or pronunciation, however you want to call it.
Yeah, we're here with Shotokan. Yeah, how you doing today?
Um, Honestly, not too bad. Work was, a little rough, but I think I figured out all the things I needed to, so I can finish stuff tomorrow. But aside from that, I've finally finished all the frame data stuff for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, barring a few outliers. Everyone has updated frame data now, so I can finally go back to actually playing games instead of sitting in game and testing stuff.
Hey, nice. I'm definitely gonna go look that up now because I've been wanting to like grind some Persona. So, who are you and what are you doing? I mean, I definitely already kind of spoiled it, but you know.
Oh, yes, as you alluded to earlier, the Dustloop guy. I am the guy in charge of Dustloop, the wiki, and the forums before that. And I do want to clarify, I do not own Dustloop. I just run it. So I definitely do the day-to-day stuff, but I am not the owner. Tragic is the owner, Ben Curtin, who you've probably seen at Evo doing announcement stuff in the past. But yes, he's the owner.
I mean, like you still do like a lot of work though, so like
Oh yeah, certainly.
mm,
Definitely doing a lot of work. But I definitely have a lot of people who help out too. So
mm,
it's not just me, but yes, lots of work.
mm. The grind never stops.
Yeah. Yes, I finished P4 and now DNF Duel is gonna come out in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's already time already. Jeez. But yeah, Shokan is TOing for DNF this year, so that's gonna be something. I'm really wondering how this game's gonna turn out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game. Well, I mean, I did get to play some of the beta, not too much,
Mm.
but from what I saw, it's all out aggression. Like
Yeah,
lots.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be doing, especially since this is a new game. Everyone's just gonna find the grimiest thing that no one has figured out counterplay to yet, and just ride that as hard as they can. That's what I'm expecting to see.
I'm excited. Like the cast looks very cool. Like I didn't play a whole lot of Dungeon Fighter. Like I dabbled in it like way back when, but the character designs are really cool and like the concepts that go with them, like the fighting styles.
Oh
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
yeah. I haven't played the game either. Someone did try to get me to play with them a long time ago, but I stayed strong and refused. um, but yeah, some of the character art I saw was very nice. For not even characters that are announced for the game, it's just like in general for DNF.
Mm.
Like there was what was it? I don't even remember the name, but the way that she was described to me was basically female Virgil. It's like, all right, put me on the
Hey.
list.
Yeah, there's definitely no shortage of like future DLC characters that'll be cool to have. So, well, I guess we'll go ahead and put this in like a general sense. Like, what got you into like Arc System Work games? Like, what's your history with the dev?
Yeah, so let's see. The first, well, I've always played fighting games. Like I literally started on Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet. But I wasn't competitive or anything. I just played them because I thought they were fun. Just spin the stick, press the buttons, and then let's see. Around college time, that's when I was downloading random files from the peer-to-peer network. Don't and I got into a the Guilty Gear soundtrack. And I listened to that and said, "Wow, this shit rocks." And then I actually said, "Oh, this comes from a game. Let's read more about this." And from there, it's like I found GamingCombos.com, which eventually turned into Dustloop.com. and read more about Guilty Gear and things like that, and I just basically started playing from there. And later, found a scene in SoCal, played with people, got more involved, and yeah, I just kept going from there.
That's really interesting. You said like it's the music that got you into it. People joke that it's like people joke that it's like Daisuke made a whole game with his soundtrack, so it kind of did.
Yes, I had no idea what Guilty Gear was until I had downloaded that soundtrack. Yeah, before that I just played fighting game wise. I played still 2D fighters. I think I played just Capcom stuff basically. Street Fighter 2, Alpha 3, Marvel. Yeah.
Get the old staples, the old staples. So, next question: why do you TO? Like everyone wants to compete, right? But not everyone wants to be a TO. So what brought you down this road?
Honestly, it was just pragmatism. No one else was gonna do it. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's like, so I started. Well, my first, I guess you could say, big TO was one of the at Evo. I forgot what year, but this was even before Anime Evo was a thing. I just helped to run. I think it was BBCP, or yeah, I think it was BBCP on side tournament, and yeah, just kept it up more or less. Outside of that, I used to help with locals, although those are sadly not around anymore due to COVID. And just in general help around with non-actual playing, but more like logistics kind of things around in locals. But yeah, I definitely the Evo that year was where I basically got my first big start.
I'm trying to remember if I was actually there that Evo. I'm like,
Yeah, it's been way too long. I don't remember shit.
Like yeah, that was a long time ago. So, how do you expect the scene to grow? Let's put it that way. Like, how's it looking? Like, who's interested in like DNF? How do you think it's gonna go about?
Yeah, well, I can't say I have a full finger on the pulse of the scene, but from what I've seen, it's people who like that Marvel style of crazy stuff or broken stuff all the time. So I'm expecting lots of crossover from, say, Marvel players, BB Tag players, or Arc System Works players in general who like that, high, like crazy power level kind of game. And I'm expecting them all to come in, and everyone's gonna be labbing super hard. They're gonna find some guard crush setup or some, I don't know, some way to do an unblockable even though there's a guard button. Who knows? They'll find something, and we'll see what happens from there.
I remember seeing like a bunch of people finding grimy stuff just like with the beta. Like what was the guy? The monk guy? I think that's his class.
Oh yeah, the grappler, the infinite.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fun, but they can't catch everything.
No, definitely not.
First release, there's no way. So I'm expecting total grime.
Like if people got that much just with the beta, I expect a lot to come out after it's released. It'll be fun though. I'm excited.
Totally.
Then well, since like we said, DNF isn't out yet, but like most of the time it'll attract like all the rest of the ASW players, like even like you said, some Marvel people were into it. Like what do you think like people can expect from like the general like ASW type of scene?
Well, let's see. There's always going to be some lab monsters that figure out some cool stuff. But beyond that, see, this is where it's going to be a little different since generally Arc System Works games, movement-wise, they have a lot more movement options. There's usually a double jump and air dash, whereas Dungeon Fighter does not have either. Instead, they have, I think, a ground roll, and I think that's about it. So it's going to be different for most of the players, at least the Arc System Works ones. So we'll see how that kind of changes the meta. Like, you might die for jumping.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna take some getting used to. Like my whole background is ASW fighters, like the air dashers, and like I got into DNF trying the beta, and I'm like, huh, this feels very weird. Not in a
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
way, but
Oh,
just like it just feels different. But it's
yeah.
good
It's like,
different.
oh, I jumped and then I can't. That's it. I can't. I'm just hitting buttons. All right. Good thing these are really big buttons, so you got that going for you.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like uni normal, just a little bit. All right. I guess we're nearing the end. Is there anything you want to show before we leave?
Anything I want to shill? Well, aside from I guess the Dustloop Wiki, which I'm sure most of you have heard of. Um, we're always working on it, always throwing in new games or adding in stuff to existing ones. Like in terms of, let's see, in terms of recent work, yeah, we've been setting up all the necessary skeleton stuff for dungeon fighters, of course. But we've also got other games on there. Recently, I think we've been adding Hokuto no Ken, Guilty Gear 2 Overture. Yeah, just if it's in our wheelhouse, aka Arc System Works games, and you have passion for it, you can make a case to add the game onto it. And yeah, we always appreciate more people coming in to help.
Make sure you fill out the wikis, folks. Do your part. Everyone relies on it, and it's invaluable information.
Yeah, I always view the wiki as like a gateway for people to try and get beyond like button mashing stats. Like, oh, these are the systems involved when I play the game, or I just want to see what this character can do. It's useful for that for sure. And then for like the more advanced players, usually that's when you say, I don't need pictures, I don't need like descriptions, just give me the numbers.
The numbers, what do they mean? Yeah, definitely. Like it's just having like Dustloop there just for such. There's a lot of niche games on there as well. It's just like so invaluable to have. Like they all are doing like a great service for the rest of us. Like we would. There's just some games you wouldn't have any information for if people didn't step up and like put like
Yeah,
their work into it.
yeah. Like that was one of the things that I found on Dustloop that really got me into Guilty Gear. Like after I heard the music and I went to Dustloop, I read Tragic's guide on the systems and stuff. It's like, whoa, this game sounds really cool. Oh, cool! Like this burst thing sounds really cool. And then I learned about it more, and it's like, all right, this is why I'm interested in the game. These systems sound really fun to, see how they play against each other.
Yeah, definitely. Like I remember I was like way back when like I first got into BV. I'm like, where do I find my scene? Where do I find this? And I'm like, I remember going to Dustloop when I used to post back then, and it was like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how
We
I
can
got into everything.
It's a different world now, but yeah, the forums were very useful for like just congregating everyone together, and they can just say, yo, this is the Midwest scene thread, this is the SoCal thread, this is NorCal, PNW, etc., etc.
Ye good old times. All right. Thank you again for giving me your time to interview you, Shotokan. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. And yeah, that's about it for tonight. And be sure to follow us on 956 and our personal Twitters as well. We'll be posting this to the YouTube. Definitely check out the Twitch and like and subscribe as always.
Nope. Ready for Dungeon Fighter.
Yeah, get ready. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm Chickzama and this is Shotokan, and we'll be peacing out.
All right, later.
Take it easy.